Get your fingers and prefrontal cortexes ready because there are some seriously awesome video games dropping this month. Although April's lineup is a little slow and thin compared to the past 3 months, the games that are dropping are really great. So stay tuned and don't go away because we're about to reveal the best video games coming out in April 2022. You don't want to miss this. First up, what kind of games can you expect in April? Let's take a look. There's a good variety of games dropping in April that are pretty much guaranteed to satisfy every gamer. If you're a sports gamer, you'll likely be very pleased because there are 3 very different sports games set to drop. And if you're a Star Wars or a Lego Star Wars fan, you'll also be satisfied. So let's dive in and check out these games. The first game we'll look at is Terrorbane, a 2D RPG. The game focuses on bugs and errors, and you play as a game tester for an indie developer. This is a really unique game with humor and plenty of references to some of the most iconic video games history. You'll notice nods to Legend of Zelda, Final Fantasy, and even the Dark Souls franchise. This could be especially nostalgic for those born in the 1980s because you might have grown up playing some of these earlier games. Terrorbane was developed with an old-school 16-bit JRPG, and you'll notice some really cool twists on some of the classic games. Terrorbane drops on April 1st for PC and Switch. For some people, the twin pillars of civilization are Legos and Star Wars. If you're one of those people, you're about to totally nerd out because this month those pillars will collide and give gamers Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. The Skywalker Saga is one of the most highly anticipated Star Wars Lego games ever, and it's rumored that the game will change the entire franchise forever. And you can see from these video clips, this game looks out of this world. Better than anything we've ever seen. This is the 6th video game installment in the Lego Star Wars series, and it lets you play through all 9 Star Wars Saga films as you travel to a galaxy far, far away. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga drops on April 5th and is compatible with PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox, and Switch. Next up, where are my sports gamers at? This next segment's just for you. Get your cleats and chewing tobacco ready because we've got MLB The Show 22 dropping this month, and the developers of the game really knocked this one out of the park and hit a home run. You can expect MLB The Show 22 on every platform except the PC. The game marks the 17th game in pro baseball's most successful video game franchise, and the first game of the series to become available on Switch. According to one gaming insider, MLB The Show 22 promises faster, deeper, and more intense moment-to-moment match action on the field, with a variety of game modes aimed at both rookie players and returning seasoned vets. Developers are also making MLB video game franchise history by offering cross-play and cross-progression to all platforms. Essentially, what this means is that you can start your MLB The Show 22 franchise on your PlayStation and continue where you left off if you want to play on your Switch. Oh, and if you're an Xbox Game Pass subscriber, you get the game for free. MLB The Show 22 drops on April 5th for PS4, PS5, Xbox, and Switch. Moving on to another game now for the sports fans out there. This one's called Nintendo Switch Sports, and it brings back classic sports games from the Nintendo Wii such as bowling, tennis, soccer, volleyball, badminton, and even chambara, aka Japanese samurai sword fighting. Physical copies of the game will come with a leg strap to give you a more realistic soccer experience, and an update in the fall of 2022 will add golf to the list of playable sports. Nintendo Switch Sports drops on April 29th for Nintendo Switch. Up next, are you ready for MotoGP 22? Let's take a look. This one is for all of you gearheads who live for going fast on 2 wheels. In real life, the current 2022 MotoGP Championship is now underway and right on schedule. Their officially licensed video game drops this month, and like MLB The Show 22, MotoGP 22 is slated for release on all platforms and comes equipped with cross-gen capabilities, so you can play your current, saved franchise on other platforms. MotoGP 22, however, does not offer cross-platform multiplayer, but it's what MotoGP 22 does offer its fans and gamers that is truly remarkable. This year's edition of MotoGP 22 not only offers gamers a selection of 120 riders, but also gives players 20 official MotoGP tracks. And as you can see from these clips, the game promises incredible realism, new animations, enhanced 3D models, and much improved pits. The game will also feature a local 2-player split-screen mode, something that hasn't been available in the franchise for a long time. The Italian developer Milestone made significant upgrades to the game's tutorial and brought back full-stack managerial career mode. So with all of these new features and improvements, it's clear that you have something to be excited about. I don't know about you, but I'm dying to burn some rubber and pop some wheelies. MotoGP 22 drops on April 21st for PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox, and Switch. Stay tuned and don't go away, because we're revealing the best video games coming out in April 2022. Next up, can you imagine what it would be like to travel between dimensions in a quest to save yourself from dying in a parallel universe? I can't, but I know someone who's actually done it, and his name is Surge. Surge is a young teenage boy and the starring character of the video game Chrono Cross: The Radical Dreamers Edition. The game is a digitally remastered, high-definition version of the ultra-popular 1999 Japanese role-playing game Chrono Cross, set in the world of SNES classic Chrono Trigger. In Chrono Cross, you'll play a teenage boy named Surge, who you've already met, who travels between dimensions in a quest to stop himself from dying in a parallel universe. As you can see from these clips, this newly remastered edition comes with upgraded 3D models, refined illustrations, and tons of new and modern features. As a bonus, you can even switch between the new version and the old one. If you're feeling nostalgic and want to experience the iconic title in its late 90s pixelated style as any true gamer would, Chrono Cross: The Radical Dreamers Edition drops on April 7th for PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox, and Switch. Another game you can look forward to that's dropping this month is 13 Sentinels: Aegis Rim. The game was originally released for the PS4 in 2020 and is set in 1980s Japan. If you play this game, you'll find yourself a member of a group of 13 high school students who suddenly find themselves battling in a futuristic war. Similar to the Christopher Nolan film, 13 Sentinels: Aegis Rim has a non-linear plot and narrative that forces players to pay close attention as they play with each sentinel to put the pieces of the puzzle together in order to understand the story. Almost immediately after arriving on PS4, the game received critical praise for its complex characters and storytelling qualities. 13 Sentinels: Aegis Rim drops on April 12th for Nintendo Switch. Up next, is having too many Star Wars games ever a bad thing? Of course not. Get ready for Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. This is the second Star Wars game released this month, and the game is quite literally out of this world. It's being considered one of the best video games in the Star Wars universe and is finally dropping on the Nintendo Switch. The game is a digitally enhanced remaster of the same game's Nintendo Wii version. It uses specialized motion controls to help you become one with the Force, as you wield its destructive powers as Darth Vader's secret apprentice. The game is set between the first two Star Wars trilogies and tells an exciting story that fills in some pretty important plot holes in the lead-up to the Galactic Civil War fans are introduced to in A New Hope. If you're totally nerding out right now, don't feel bad, because so are we. You can already play Star Wars: The Force Unleashed on PC, Xbox, and PS3, but on April 20th, the game hits the Nintendo Switch. Another awesome guy coming out this month is The Serpent Rogue. Essentially, The Serpent Rogue is an action-packed game set in a medieval fantasy world. You play as the Warden, a mysterious alchemist who creates magical potions while on a quest to protect the world from the evil Serpent Rogue, whose real name is Morbus. You'll find a chance to explore medieval realms, gather resources, and go on perilous adventures. The Serpent Rogue drops on April 26th for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Switch. That's a wrap for today's video. Thank you for watching.